Hey, so where's my phone? Oh, can you hand it to me?
No.
Get out. Please work for the love of God. Fuck! It didn't work. Hang on. Also, I need to fix my microphone.
You need to do a lot of things.
We haven't done this in 2 months. Has that registered with you? How are you feeling about that?
Very few things register. Are we recording?
Yeah.
I haven't clapped.
Do it right now. Wait, why is this not registering anything?
Hell yeah.
Now clap.
I know.
Oh, wait. Now clap.
Hit it. Up.
Okay, slay. There we go. Now
Hell
it's
yeah.
working. How are you feeling about the pressure? I know you historically don't perform well under pressure. So.
I don't perform well ever, Amanda. There's no distinction that needs to be made. You said it's sinking.
It's fine. I'll just angle it up like this. Great. Now that's also not working. My life. Okay, you keep talking.
You mentioned that, like, wow, it's been like a full month since we've done
2 months.
That's obvious already in the first 10 seconds of us recording
this.
this.
You also don't do literally shit.
No, that's what I'm saying.
This
like,
podcast.
I
it
also,
is on me.
I've been all over the place
My
as
back
well.
is killing me from carrying this fucking podcast, brother. It's like, don't start with the talking shit. Cause
I wasn't talking shit. I'm saying we are clearly having a chaotic moment right now.
We being me. Specifically,
I wasn't going to name names. I wasn't going to name... Dude, there's actually an earthquake going on.
Everything's fine.
That was caused by King Tony jumping for joy at the fact that we're back.
Freaking the fuck out, truly. I also am freaking the fuck out that we're literally so back, it's crazy.
Dude, unrelated, I almost died on the way over here.
What happened?
So we only
live like a minute apart.
I know, that makes it...
We almost walk to each other's houses.
Makes it all the more shocking. No, I was turning out of my street onto...
The one that connects
the windy one, yeah. And so I was turning left, and there were cars coming both directions. So I was like, okay, I got to kind of get up and go. But it was not like a dangerous decision to be made or whatever.
Sure.
It became one, though, because I just got a new car like a month and a half ago or whatever. And this thing, it's a Toyota Camry. And it's got like this got this eco mode that I keep it in, which means when I step on the gas, it doesn't exactly get up and go.
Right.
It like eases itself in so as not to produce extra fumes, not to burn gas, blah blah blah, which is great.
Hitch in your giddy up,
I did not have any hitch in my giddy up. It almost like I hit the gas and it almost didn't move, and so I had this brief moment of panic where I was like, "Oh, we need to like go because I've already committed too much. Like I'm moving into the street now." And so there was like, I was pretty close to getting T-bone. Unfortunately, the guy, the person coming the other way, like braked and gave me enough time or whatever. But
that's crazy.
Your boy was nervous for like a split second.
Yeah, I also had a couple of recent run-ins out in this area with like moments of like, hey, you other person are not following the traffic law. So people out here are just like, they're wilding out with Nick Cannon. You know what I mean? Like they are really not giving it 2 flying fucks about traffic law where we live. So
Correct.
I think Rachel's coming down. Hello.
Hello.
Rachel, would you like to say anything to your adoring fans? Sure.
You could do better.
Who, me? I could do better?
No, the fans.
Oh,
the fans could do better.
Take your time
Damn.
better.
Oh, that's so funny.
Do better than this?
Yeah, do better than
true.
listening to our
podcast.
podcast.
You could do better.
I'm talking about my adoring fans. Which,
Oh.
there's probably like
Me.
1.
2, including your man.
That's true.
Me and her man competing for #1 fan spot always. But if I see your man, it's on site. Just kidding, it's not, because I see him all the time.
Holy cow, that was funny.
Iggy, you want to come sit up on the couch, queen? No. She's like, I want to stand and be anxious.
The queen of Vienna sausages.
We're doing our best. Okay, are you ready to get started?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there something else you wanted to say? Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm waiting for you to do your pause and then welcome back to the pyramid. I was waiting for you. I was like, I'm on the edge of my seat.
Okay, I'm going to do it right now. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Welcome back to the pyramid, guys, gals, and non-binary. My name is Amanda, and I'm your host every single freaking week except for the weeks that I'm fucking not.
And I'm Eli, the dipshit participation trophy of co-hosts.
Heavy on the dipshit this week, ladies and germs.
It's just this week.
Heavy on the dipshit.
Brother, I stay dipshit.
Iggy's back.
This is the rest of the episode.
Oh, and she's gone.
She's
not a stay and fight kind of dog.
That's a shame.
If you smack her butt too many times, she'll run away.
She'll be back.
They always come back. Okay. What do you want to get into first? You want to talk about the Pyramid of Life?
No, let's do emails and shit first.
Great.
By the way, I had several people reach out via DM just to say, like, hey, big fan of the podcast. Hey, I'm cyberbullying you. King Tony's cooking up something.
Crispy memes.
Yeah, he's doing the bit. Some people saying, hey, I haven't caught up to the most recent episode yet, but I'm really enjoying it. I just want to say thank you to all of you. I did not
Are they DMing you directly?
Yes.
That is so annoying.
Well, some did me directly.
Me.
Some DM'd.
Because I know I'm not on Instagram.
Right. Some DM'd
the
the pyramid. Some DM'd me.
Cute.
And so I didn't ask permission to say anyone's name, so I'm not going to.
Don't.
But if you wrote in, thank you. I always get like a hefty chuckle and a warm feeling in my heart, whether I'm getting cyberbullied or whether you're just like, hey, big fans, like that is awesome. Yeah. I love when y'all like write in. Same. That is super dope.
It's very sweet.
Yeah.
We have not that many emails, but the emails that we did get are long. So I'm going to kind of chop this down. Okay. This person said that we can say their name. Livy wrote in again. We've already read an email from her before, but I didn't know if it was okay to say her name. She says, hello again, Amanda, and then called you Delilah, but ELI in the middle is in parentheses, which I found to be very creative.
Hey there, Delilah. What's it like being a dipshit?
Nice. She says, I've caught up on your recent episodes and for real screamed when you read my email. I will now never stop. I love that. Okay, I just learned that apparently they would film the show. When they would film the show. Apparently they filmed the show. No.
What?
When they would film the show, the girls would perform their dances twice at competitions. Once for an actual score and once for the footage. Which I had not heard before, but I believe that.
Well, why couldn't they just film it when they're being scored?
Well, because like you need to take multiple takes of anything.
Do you?
When you're filming. Yeah, for the most part. Take a bunch of takes of like everything that you film.
So like Nia had to fall down twice or something?
Or only once. Oh yeah, that's a good point. If you fuck up, I guess they would only keep what?
I was going to say, they would film it once for, are you guys talking about
how they would film it twice?
The performances or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, they would film it once for the judges that was actually scored.
Right.
Then the judges would leave and they would film it again for cameras.
Right.
But there was a time that they fucked up and they cut it from the actual performance because in the judged version of that one homeless dance.
You have to be more specific. There are several. Oh, yes. The one where Maddie's in a box. Yes.
She flips over Brooke.
Yes.
The non-judged version. Her sweater gets caught and like in and it like twirls off.
Ooh.
There's footage of it online.
Interesting. That does make sense because there are times where it's like, how does this child look so different from this take to this take? So that actually does make sense. I also realized that my first email I sent, I totally forgot about my Pyramid of Life and song. I think I was just too excited and I blacked out, which also explains 2 emails within 15 minutes of each other.
Hell yeah.
Okay, bottom of the pyramid is the judge at the traffic court I went to. He was so deeply mean to me and many other poor civilians. That sucks. There are some judges in Nashville that are like that. Middle of my pyramid is work. I'm a hairstylist, slay, and I love what I do, but sometimes I just don't want to do it. That's totally fair.
God, yeah.
That is totally fair. Top of my pyramid is Taco Bell because I had some last night and that shit hits.
Yes.
Slay.
Every time.
Literally, especially the one right here.
Dude.
Where it's all high schoolers who are twactina.
Yeah, they're stoned out of their mind.
Yeah, everything is awesome. And my song is 5G by Brakence. Brakence. How would you say that name?
Probably Brakence.
Brakence, right? I've had it on repeat for probably over a year, and I cannot be stopped. Peace and blessings, Livy, she, her. Thank you so much, Livy.
Dope. Thanks, Livy.
Hang on, my hand's not big enough to do the thing. Okay. Okay, this one is from another sweet listener who did not say whether or not I can say their name, so I'm not going to, but it is very long. So if you sent this, I love you so much. I am going to have to edit this a little bit because we got a lot going on. Okay, I recently listened to your episode with Jake where you talked about how some men, I don't want to talk about men, how some men don't know how to ask for things because they were always handed everything, and now they're grown children incapable of articulating their needs healthily. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but I just wanted to say that your insight and the way you so eloquently spoke during this conversation was such a light bulb to me. I have been struggling with a coworker that I felt like I was bending over backwards for and getting nothing in return. His inability to communicate and meet anyone halfway was making my work life miserable, and I completely shut down on him and everyone else. which hurt both of us because we were friends, and it also affected the entire workplace. I felt like I was doomed to cater to this man until one of us jumped from a roof. For legal reasons, that's a joke. But after listening to the episode, I ruminated on what you said and started to see our interactions from a different lens, which allowed me to approach situations with him differently. It's not a perfect solution, but I'm not clinically licensed, and honestly, I don't think he's capable of realizing the calls coming from inside the house, and that it's made everyone's work life a little more tolerable. So I just wanted to tell you this story to say that I love hearing your and your guest perspectives on life. I started listening because I'm also a fan of Dance Moms because it's a heinous train wreck.
I don't think I'd call myself a fan of Dance Moms.
I want that to be clear. I'm a fan of talking about Dance Moms.
Yeah. This is fun.
I'm a fan of this. I'm not a fan of
nightmare.
Abby Lee Miller. Yeah. Also, it's a really, to me, like what helps me in those interactions with men specifically is to think about how embarrassing it is to be acting like that. Like I'm assuming this man is probably in his 30s. You're a grown-ass man acting like that. That's embarrassing for that man. Right? It doesn't say anything about you that he's acting that way. It doesn't say anything about you if he was acting really positively. You know what I mean? Like, the way that people act has more to do about who they are as people than it does about you as a person.
It has everything to do with who they are.
Right. So it's like, if he's acting super positively, that also has nothing to do with you. That's just who he is as a person. But if he's acting negatively, that's embarrassing. He's a grown-ass man who's acting like a child.
Yes, man.
Crazy.
I picked that time to make a butt joke. Right after you say acting like a child.
The way that I didn't even hear you say that until you pointed it out. You could have said that, and I did not register that you said that until you were talking about you saying that.
That's really impressive because like your ears seem to be tuned to my bullshit, and
True.
the second that I say
missile for your flaws.
exactly, and so the second that you have an opportunity, you're going to dunk. Rachel, you good? Do you have enough arms?
Yes.
Okay.
Iggy.
Also, I see you in your struggle of dealing with fuck-ass men, especially in a workplace environment. It really sucks to encounter someone that you have to tolerate in a professional setting when you would not tolerate that behavior personally.
Anywhere else.
Yeah, like, I don't put up with that shit from men in general, but you acting this way, I have to because we work together. And I don't want to
get sent to HR.
Right, that really sucks. Okay. We got a biblically long email from King Tony.
Yeah.
Confirming that what JB, Bestie of the Pod, thought about the escape of Kelly and the children from their contract was right. Because there's been more content from Christy, I think, that said, like, yes, this was true. Kelly got charged for assault and battery, went to court. And that's how they, like, let her out, was because she, like, technically committed a crime. And so they released her from the show when they, like, would not have done that otherwise. Hey, Iggy, you gotta settle, queen. Pat the couch next to you.
Iggy, come here. Come in. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yes.
You lay down?
She's like, I'm gonna stare straight down the barrel of that
camera. Dude, Iggy.
Iggy, lay down.
Oh, what? Oh. That was
that's
flop.
not laying down.
That was a
I guess that's,
flop,
like,
dude.
Kind of close.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna scoot herself off the couch.
What a mess. We got another email from can I say this person's name?
Oh my god, Iggy.
I think I can. Gabby.
Look at this.
Slay Gabby. Egg, you gotta chill, bruh. Okay, she said, all jokes aside, so she says, hello, Pod Squad. Amanda, I hope you had a great Christmas, and the disembodied podcast space voice who loves funny mascot shirts known as our dear Elias Farmer. I hope you had a good holiday season too, I guess. And then she said...
Hell of a start.
And then she said, all jokes aside, I don't know when you guys are coming back from your holiday break, but I wanted to write this email to wish you all a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah to all who celebrate. And I wish you all the best in 25. Please give pets and cuddles to all of your animal friends like Liza and Otis and your friend's dog too, Iggy the Piggy.
Doing it right.
Doing that right now.
Doing it right now.
Well, she has to get a ball. She has to, like, gum on a ball, and then she'll be fine.
Just mushing the hell out
from upstairs. Okay, her pyramid. Bottom of the pyramid, working through Christmas prep in retail because it sucks ass and people can be real Grinches. T, I have also worked retail during the Christmas season. It is, in fact, ass.
Can confirm the assness.
Can confirm ass. In the middle of the pyramid, I got sick at Christmas time because I had a semi-cold a few weekends ago, and I had a church thing to sing in, and with my boyfriend, and it felt like my nose was running like a water faucet. That is so gross. Also been there, sister. I see you in that struggle.
Cool.
It's just top. I had a great 24, and I met lots of female WWE wrestling fans on Discord, which is like the coolest sentence I've ever read in my life.
Hell yeah.
And I feel like I have other people to talk about it with other than my boyfriend, and their blessings to me more than they know. Song suggestion, Hot Air Balloon by Owl City. It's just a fun, goofy song, and I sing along with it every time I hear it. P.S. Eli, it may not be ska, but it's still good. LOL. Anywho, I'd like to leave you by saying you guys are amazing and the best podcast host a girl could ever hope for or ask for, and I hope to talk to you all soon. Love, Gabby, soon to be bestie of the pod. Thank you so much, Gabby.
I think I know who that is, actually.
Okay, I think that's it.
I think she and I have interacted.
Yeah, the rest of these are spam. Slay. Okay, are you ready to talk about the Pyramid of Life, son?
You betcha. Okay.
Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay, great. The bottom of my pyramid is that my hairdresser is moving out of state.
Aw.
And I'm, hear me out,
Bummer.
Pissed.
Yeah.
Because if you go back through the footage of this podcast, I'm gonna put a picture, I'm gonna out myself and put a picture right here of the fuckery of my hair like a year ago, where I had a mental health crisis and I dyed the bleach part of it blue and I looked disgusting.
No, you
and
didn't.
the people, yes I did, and the people who still talked to me when I was looking like this deserve Purple Hearts, because that's crazy. You deserve the Medal of Freedom, because I would not talk to me if I knew someone who looked like me. That's insane. So then after, when I was like, I literally can't do this anymore, it looks so disgusting, I need assistance, she was like, hear me out, what if we cut off your hair? Like, what if we just like cut it and start over and we don't try to correct the color or anything? And I was like legitimately very scared, because my hair had not been shorter than my shoulders in years, it felt like, at least. And I was just really nervous, and I was like still like in my curly hair journey, and it was like a whole thing. And Emma was so sweet, and she was so nice to me, and she loves Drag Race of the RuPaul variety, not with the cars. And I also love RuPaul's Drag Race. And so we would sit and giggle about Drag Race. She was there for me when I bought my house. She's been there for me through breakups. She's been there for me when I was looking fugly. And she ripped me out of the clutches of looking a fucking mess. And I'm going to miss her so bad, like, actually. And now I don't know where to go. Actually, that's not true. She recommended someone to me, but I don't know her like that. Makes me nervous. Bottom of the pyramid.
I don't think anyone in our listenership thought that Drag Race meant with the cars.
You shouldn't. If you're looking at me and listening to me and you're like, she watches, I mean, not to like shit on anyone's anything, but like, girl, the number of times I've called Eli diva, you should know what's going on. You taking a picture of Iggy?
Yeah.
What's she doing?
She's just laying there. She's just being cute.
Just existing.
Yeah.
What's the bottom of your pyramid, bruh?
The bottom of my pyramid.
Sorry, that was such a nasty sound.
Hang on, I gotta send this to two groups. Give me a second. Shut up. I got it. All right. The bottom of my pyramid.
That was really fast.
The bottom of my pyramid are breakups. Sure. We're not gonna go into what happened.
Sure.
I'm just disappointed. However, I'm single, so like, there's opportunities to work on myself. This is still very much the bottom of the pyramid. But wherever there is tragedy, there is opportunity.
True.
And so one is never done improving. So now I have an opportunity to do even better for myself.
Damn. Good for you. The middle of my pyramid, because we're going to move on swiftly. Okay.
Taylor Swiftly.
Wait. Okay, I can do this in 5 minutes. So the middle of my pyramid is the show Severance on Apple TV. Have you seen the show?
I've heard really good things about it. I've never seen it, but I've heard really good things.
I would like to say, before anyone like literally threatens my life and tweets my address, I would like to say it is not the middle of my pyramid because I think it is bad. Because I don't. I love that show. I went to a watch party last night. For those of you who watch, my sister and brother-in-law hosted a watch party last night. That was a waffle party. If you watch the show, you know that's like an inside. That's like a joke in the show. And it was very fun. We had a melon bar, and we had a waffle party, and it was very fun. And we listened to Defiant Jazz, and it was awesome. It's in the middle of my pyramid because what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
You never know. There's so much.
I don't watch the show. What do you want?
But you also never know what I'm talking about anything.
That's fair.
The show is so sci-fi, not sci-fi, mystery thriller adjacent that like you just don't really ever know what's going on. Like every time you learn an answer to a question, it begets another question. Okay. And so it's in the middle because it's just like, what the fuck is going on at any given moment? But it is very good. If you have Apple TV or you've been thinking about getting Apple TV, you should do it. It's so well done. Adam Scott is acting his butt off in that show. It's incredible. Zach Cherry hit my line. I love you so bad, brother. I love you so bad. Yeah. So that's why it's in the middle of my pyramid. You have 3 minutes until the camera cuts off.
Okay, well, I have 2 middles.
I'm really scared.
Why would you be?
It's just a scary sentence in general.
I have 2 middles. All right. The first of which is that I made the playoffs in my fantasy football league, which is very exciting. But I got extremely unlucky and finished 4th out of the 4 that made the playoffs. I scored a lot, but the teams that I played had quite literally their best weeks of the entire year, which made me lose. I actually, like, through the year in total, set a league record as the highest scoring team of all time in our league in all 13 years. It sucks that I didn't win when I should have, but the fun part of this is that even though one of my best friends, Grant, won, every time he brings it up, everyone in the league is just like, well, yeah, we know you technically won, but Eli had the best team. You got lucky. And so, like, it's really...
Fuck you, Grant.
It's being a massively wet blanket on his first ever championship while I have 3. They're like, yeah, but Eli should have won this year. We all know that.
That's incredible.
And it makes
you
me...
get to be like a slam dunk.
Yeah, and so I just get to sit back while they talk shit for me, even though I lost.
But people are running defense for you hard.
Yeah, that's been pretty awesome. The second eye roll middle of my pyramid
that was 2. Oh my God.
Is that's the one middle is the fantasy football results. The second is that I have successfully put on weight. I'm up to 220 pounds right now.
Slay.
A year and a half ago.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, slay.
A year and a half. This has been very intentional. Almost to the day a year and a half ago, I weighed 183 pounds, and yesterday I weighed in at 220. 37 pounds is a shitload of weight to put on. That, like, I have tried to do this. This is on purpose. And so, like, I'm a lot stronger, which is a large part of the point. I give better hugs, which is also a nice benefit. I'm just like, there's more to me.
Anyway, keep going. Sorry.
Eating a shitload of food was also really great. However, I've had to stop wearing, I'm not kidding, like half of my wardrobe.
Okay, I wasn't going to say anything.
Because it doesn't fit anymore.
The sweatpants, that's like all I see you in anymore.
Well, so yeah, first of all, they're just more comfortable.
You're gonna tell me your ass is too fat to fit in your jeans? You're singing Beyonce's song, "If you don't jump to put jeans on, baby, you don't feel my pain."
So
yes. Yes.
Yesterday I was about to leave work and I had jeans on. And I was getting something out of our fridge, and there's a window right here, but it was at nighttime, so like I could see myself. And I was like looking outside because there was a car driving by, and I looked out and saw my own ass in these jeans.
Oh my God! You noticed that you were cheeked up.
I was cheeked up for daddy for real. It was insane, Amanda. I laughed out loud. I was just like, oh my God.
You're like catching your own ass and being like, oh my God.
Yeah, and so before I would often wear these joggers because they're like the most comfortable item of clothing that I own. Also, who likes sitting around in denim, like sitting on a couch for hours in denim. All right, you're a weirdo. But also now, like, I kind of can't sit comfortably in the several pairs of jeans that I own.
Because your butt's too big.
My ass and quads have gotten too big.
Oh, and quads. Okay. Yeah. That evens out. I was like, there's no way it's all the junk is in the trunk. Like, you know what I mean? There's no way it's just your ass.
It is from the knees up. My jeans do not fit anymore.
Oh my God. Not someone slacking me. Shut up.
That's insane.
It's my boss who like literally never stops working.
The final thing I'll say is a guy in the gym literally today who I've been saying hi to and fist bumping for almost 3 years straight now. And I do not know his name. He was just like, bro, you're looking big as fuck. I was like, thank you.
He has said that to you before.
A couple of times. Yeah. He has been so great at hyping me up. He has been consistent.
Really I love that.
Yeah, it's great. And I still don't know his name. But to random stranger who's hyping up the bulk, thank you. I appreciate you.
Fuck you, dude. The top of my pyramid, similar like to getting a compliment from the bro at your gym.
Okay.
There's a guy who I work with who has...
How dare he?
I know.
Be a man and work with you.
I know, so annoying. Is he fucking stupid? No, I'm just kidding. He has the best sense of fashion of anyone I've ever seen in real life.
Oh.
Like, he looks like the people that are on my TikTok For You page and my Instagram feed. Like, he looks like people I've pinned on Pinterest boards. He's aspirationally fashion forward. And we don't work in the office together every day. He's an independent contractor that we hire. And so, like, I see him sometimes, but not every single day. And since the first time I met him, every once in a while, he'll compliment something I'm wearing. Like, I only wear tennis shoes because I'm a flat-footed bitch, and I can't do anything else. And so he was like, oh, I really like your J's. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. And he'd be like, oh, I really like that sweatshirt. I'm like, oh, thank you. Saw him on site a couple days ago at an event. I was wearing a sweater vest. I was looking like someone's grandpa. And he was like, I like your sweater vest. And I was like, thank you so much. The other day, I was in the office, and I was talking to another coworker who I do see every day. Not that matters for the plot of the story, but it's true. And Fashion Boy was nearest to me as I was talking to coworker For Real Boy, and was just like staring at me. And I, like, if I'm looking at coworker, the audience, he's right here. And I can see him out of my peripheral staring at me and like clocking the fit. And I'm like, don't be weird, don't be weird, don't be weird. And after a second, he was like, hey, I'm going to vote Amanda for best dressed in the office. He was like, your outfit looks sick. And it's so cool to get a compliment from someone who knows what they're talking about.
Yes,
like, I love a compliment, obviously. Who doesn't love a compliment in general? But a compliment on your sense of fashion from someone who has the best sense of fashion, like, literally ever, is crazy. And I think about it all the time. That happened like 3 days ago, and I told everyone in the office immediately. And everyone was like, he said that? People were like, he's like the fashion king of the office. I'm like, I know. So yeah, a compliment. Won. Yeah, a compliment from someone who knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Who's like in a position of authority to give you that compliment. Love, bitch.
Yep.
Love.
Yep.
What's the top of your pyramid?
The top of my pyramid.
I'm scared.
You should be. It's it's old white men.
Get out. Get out for real.
Specifically, the actual is last night we had a fundraiser for Second Harvest Food Bank where I work, and it was a bourbon tasting.
Love.
And it was at some insanely rich guy's house who has come into the food bank before. He's like good friends with our CEO.
Yeah.
And he lives in one of those houses that's just insane. Yep. Mm-hmm. Over off of like Hickory Hollow, like near he's in kind of like the Green Hills area. Just so loaded. Anyway, it was a bourbon tasting, and all the attendees except for two, there were like 50 men there between like 30 and 70. Okay. And almost all of them are older white men, like 50s and above. Because those are people that have money. And so
those are the people who are drinking bourbon.
Yes, it was. Yeah, actually, one of the guys mentioned he works for a like distiller supplier or whatever, and he's like, Gen Zs and younger millennials are basically not drinking bourbon at all.
I can't drink it. It hurts my stomach.
And so he's like, so some are asking like, who even drinks bourbon anymore? And one of the guys in the back literally just goes, I think us. It was really funny. But anyway, so. It was a benefit for food insecurity, and there were some guys. I was sitting next to a former Channel 4 news anchor, by the way.
Who?
Aaron Solomon was his name.
Love.
And
love News Channel 4, dude. Oh my God.
Yeah, and so he and I chatted for a while, and he was wonderful. But one guy at our table, like there was tables of like 8 or whatever. One guy was saying just like the shitty things that you'd expect from like old white guys.
Sure.
He was saying, with like food insecurity, he's like,
why don't they get a job?
Some people, some people just want their check and they want to get the stuff for free and they have no motivation. And so as I was opening my mouth to respond, Aaron fucking champ over here, and then the other two dudes that are in their 50s like jumped on that shit.
Gathered.
They're just like, that's not what happens. Yeah. that happens
Okay,
sometimes.
yeah.
It is few and far in between.
Yeah.
And also, you don't know if those people happen to work a night shift or something. And I was like, that's a really good point.
Literally eat that man up.
And so, yeah,
Good.
they got off at 10 in the morning. So while you're driving to work or whatever, they just got done and are just having a beer or having a cigarette or whatever. That is not your fucking business. Damn. And they like ate him alive. But he like he said something else that was shitty. And so I started talking to him like a child, and that shut him up. He seemed to realize what was going on. And I was like, well, now you understand that not everyone. And he was like, oh, okay, I'm the dumbass here. Got it.
Yeah. Also, we're gonna benefit for Second Harvest. Like,
also that.
what do you mean?
What are you doing?
Why do you have that opinion?
Thank you very much for your money. But like,
also, like, what?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Come on. Anyway, but like seeing the other guys, and then like how the main host spoke about food insecurity and how passionately everyone was like willing to like donate money and like be a part of the thing was really awesome.
Yeah.
They were using like up-to-date language, talking about like people facing hunger, not hunger. Yeah, they were using like people first. It was fucking crazy.
Love.
It was crazy. I know that there were probably a lot of
And
Republicans
they're like
in that room.
sweating. They're like so concerned about not saying the right thing.
Well, and so
which is great. I love that energy.
Yeah, and so and then one of the bourbons that we tried was from I don't remember the name, but it was from a like a woman-owned distillery. They applauded. I was like, "The fuck's going on here?"
Room full of men.
There were a couple women. There were two women in there.
And they're like,
wives.
why are you applauding?
No, but they're just like, "Oh, that's so great! It is
That's
a male-dominated
really sweet.
industry," and they're like, "That's cool."
Well-intentioned white men.
Yeah, it is so. I fully expected to have to like keep my dukes up and be fighting in every direction and blah blah blah. But by and large, with a couple
really
exceptions,
sweet,
it was actually a very wholesome evening. And so shout out to those guys.
We, working in corporate events, every once in a while I'll see a group of just like guys being dudes. And I'm like, and they're not bothering anybody. But in a good way. Yes. Yeah, they're not bothering anybody. They're not hurting anybody. They're like, oh, they just let anybody in here these days. And they give them one of these and like a hug and like a smack on the back. I'm like, what's going on? At like a sales meeting. What's going on, brother? And I'm like, they're so themselves. They're doing them.
So they'll just let anyone in here now is one of my favorite old white man greetings. Oh my God.
That one, or like going to a restaurant and seeing the line get long and go, well, we got here at the right time.
Yeah.
Like that kind of shit. Back in the day when Tim Walz was running for VP, there was a bunch of like, Tim Walz looks like the kind of guy who would say fill in the blank meme, and one was like, Tim Walz looks like the kind of MF who would stand out on his porch while it's raining and go, yeah,
we needed this.
Or the thing about like, oh, looks like we got here at the right time, or like that kind of shit.
We're moving and he ties the things down on the truck bed and goes, that's not going anywhere. Also in that same vein, like a long time ago, like months ago, Rachel, my roommate, she was trying to screw something into the wall because she doesn't have a power drill because she doesn't trust herself, which is fair. If you caught the earlier like moments in the show, that's fair. She's a little all the time, and I love her for it. But she has this like torqued up screwdriver that you just push and it screws the screw for you. And she like couldn't get the right angle, and so when Eli came over to record, she was like, Eli, can you help me just like finish like putting this, like doing this thing? And he was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Went upstairs and did it, and I asked Rachel, oh, is that weight bearing shelf, like, is it in a stud? And she said, yeah. I said, is it in a stud? And Eli turned around and I said, don't say it, shut up. And he was like, okay. And then like went back to the thing, and then Rachel said, and I also have a stud finder. And Eli turned around and I was like, shut up. I was like, don't say it, shut up. And he was like, that guy's stud right here. I'm gonna kill you. You just can't softball it in
he
like that.
He couldn't not say it.
No, I can't.
It was really funny. Okay. Are you ready to talk about this episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
You betcha.
Great. When I heard the Abby Lee Miller say previously on Dance Moms, like the way that like all the will to live left my body. Like I was ready to go in that moment. I was like, you just take the wheel.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're back to doing this shit again.
The hair on the back of my neck stood up.
And not in a fun way.
Like,
we're talking about, I don't think I wrote this down. Oh, yes, I did.
Season 4, episode 10.
No solo for you.
Your boy took notes.
I'm so proud of you.
Also, that title.
I don't care what people say. I always knew that you knew how to read.
A little bit. I'm getting better, though. Also, the title, No Solo for You, it's like the soup Nazi from Seinfeld.
I was just thinking the same thing.
No solo for you.
I thought about that earlier, too. Okay, maybe they did that on purpose. Previously on Dance Moms, OMG, I remember nothing. That's what I have in my notes.
Yeah.
Because it's been a minute. Okay. The Black Cloaks were like a thing, and also Kalani is the newest addition. We have a new girl. The Highlands, rest in peace. They are no longer with us.
They're alive.
They're alive, but
Just
they're
not
not here on the show. And then there's this whole like beef about how Maddie and Kalani should go up against each other and like duke it out for the final spot.
Yeah, Kira firmly believes.
Like, no.
Yeah, Kira firmly believes that Kalani's the best.
It was just hers to believe, like whatever.
Sure.
But it is kind of weird that she's like, no, my daughter can fight. Put her up against another girl. Like,
I feel like Kalani can actually legitimately fight.
I bet she can.
She's also twice Maddie's size, so that helps.
Also true.
But she has that look in her eyes.
She's got that hunger for sure.
Yeah.
She's got that dog in her.
Woof.
She's like
It's
11.
Iggy, though.
Yeah, this is the dog I have in me, and it's Iggy.
She was snoring. I don't know if people listening could hear, but she was snoring audibly.
What's going on?
Audibly earlier.
Yeah, the snoring is crazy. I can hear it through Rachel's door. Like it is. She's sucking down curtains. She's landing planes, clearing out the aisle of fog so that the ships can come through in the night. It's wild. It's wild. Okay, this week we're in Pennsylvania in the studio in the mirror room. All the girls come in and Abby tells the girls and the moms that they've been undefeated for 8 weeks in a row. But don't worry, that's because everyone else is unprepared.
Yeah, she's like, it's early in the season. Everyone else sucks, and that's the only reason you're winning. It's going to get tougher.
She's like, when they get their shit together, it is completely over for you bitches.
Like, oh, great.
Yeah, thank you so much for that vote of confidence. Holly announces, like, while we're talking about good news about being undefeated, I've published a book. And they're going to have a book signing. Abby starts clapping very sarcastically. It's really annoying. And they're going to have a book signing. And Abby is like, but don't worry. Life is still about dance. Right, Nia? And Nia's like, sure.
Nia didn't write the book.
Oh, yeah. Nia's mom's career isn't about Nia.
Yeah. The cool thing is that she's a child.
Right.
She didn't write the book.
No.
She didn't say anything about the book.
No.
She has nothing to do with the signing. She's just like, yes, when was that in question?
She's like, yeah, I guess. It's very annoying. Yeah. Abby's just jealous. And then, like, Holly's like, yeah, she wrote the book. It's called Moments of Clarity. That she says she was inspired. Oh, am I boring you?
No, I was sighing, and then a yawn came out. I also am hungry, and I get tired when I'm hungry.
That's a weird combination of feelings.
No, I need calories.
Oh, okay. What was I talking about? The hell was I talking about?
Moments we can talk about Mexican food.
Moments of clarity. Having one right now. Holly says that she has had many moments of clarity in the dance studio up at the top, like doing her thing. And she's kind of written down these little like quips and motivational things in this book and whatever. And Abby's like, are you finished? Which she kind of ate that up a little bit. That was kind of cunty, but whatever. Okay. So then she's like, oh, what is it? What's the one of the ones that you have in there? Oh, silence is golden. Bet you won't be so quiet now. Rips off the page of the bottom of the pyramid, and it's Nia. And I gasped. I was like, that is really like a switch up of like, oh, congratulations on your book. Your child fucking sucks.
Yeah, why don't you write about that?
Yeah. She says that she was not good in the group. Her headpiece slipped off, and it like affected her performance.
I mean,
so she was bad.
Yeah, that was always a battle with like band kids too, and like the shako is weird.
Someone referred to you in an email, I think just now, and I skipped over it, about they're like, "Hi, Amanda," and that kid from band camp.
Hell yeah!
Which I probably shouldn't have mentioned because it probably boosts your self-esteem, but
well, someone's done that before, but I appreciate it.
From band camp.
That one guy from band camp.
Truly.
Skinny, really weird douche with the flippy hair.
You?
In high school, yeah.
Damn.
Yep.
Okay, Kendall is next, and Jill is shook. Abby says, you were good. I didn't have a problem with you at all. It was your mom.
Yeah. Jill complained about the apple, which...
Kendall was supposed to have the special part.
Dude, stop. I hate when Jill says special part. I fucking hate it.
It's really gross. It's like really gross, actually.
You want to know why I think? Is because I feel like that's also in the same vein of how she like talks dirty.
No.
It's like, Eli,
Don't.
I'd love to see your special part.
No.
Now you're going to hear it like that that is how I hear it every time, and it feels so gross.
It is really nasty.
Every time, and it feels so gross.
It's because it's like, it's the same framing of like private parts.
Right.
Yeah.
Which
it's
also
like,
I don't like.
I don't like that at all. It's like very strange. But yes, they're arguing about that.
Special part.
Oh, God. And then the next one is Maddie. Woof.
I was shocked.
But then it makes sense because she wasn't here.
I had forgotten.
I also had forgotten that. It would have made more sense if Maddie was last, because there have been other moments where other children weren't there and they were last.
Yeah, but...
So your mom being a dick is worse than you not being here at all, is what Abby's saying.
Correct. And Abby does a little bit of trying to justify it by saying, like, you weren't here.
Sure.
So, like, I'm not actively trying to punish you like she would other
here.
kids, but you weren't here. But you were doing, like, dance things. Like, you had a literal dance job, and that's cool. So, like, while I want to punish Nia and Kendall, obviously, I don't necessarily want to punish you.
Right.
So, I can wrap my head around it.
Annoying.
At least she wasn't on the top. Like, oh, she was out working in LA.
True,
and that's amazing.
Yeah, that also could have happened.
Easily.
That's very true. The middle of the pyramid, we start with Chloe. She was overall second place. She had a great performance. Nothing was wrong. And so Christy's like, what the fuck? And she says, like, Abby never compliments Chloe. So, like, what's going on?
I think all of us were waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah. Also, do you want to talk about how Christy knows about us? Or no?
I don't know if okay, so an avid listener of the podcast, shout out
this person.
You
know who you are. It can only be one person.
This person and I have interacted so much, and they are wonderful and very like cool. They are just like a very cool person. They were doing their very cool thing and saw Christy and got a picture with her and sent it to me and was like, Christy now knows. I gotta read this. Hang on. I gotta read. You
screenshotted it and sent it to me. I bet I can pull it up before you can.
Yeah, I was gonna go look at my DMs, and I think I have to scroll down a decent bit to find it.
You have too many DMs. Bitches be thirsty.
I do. No, well, people be sending reels is what.
It was her, bitch. This is from this person.
So Christy herself.
Yeah.
Queen Christy
on a cruise
says she loves the name of the podcast. She said to tell you to fuck off and that she loves you. Christy knows about me and told me to fuck off.
That's incredible.
How else can you possibly show me love?
So me and Christy Lukasiak have something in common, and we both want you to fuck off.
That's
amazing. That's literally amazing.
We both said that at the same time.
Shut up. The next person on the pyramid is sorry.
Max Z.
Yeah. I thought of there's like a trend going around on the internet of like archetypes from movies and TV and like you and your friends and whatever. Like, this is literally us. One of the archetypes I saw the other day that made me think of you was opinionated girl and the man she yells at. And it was all these different like
that's 100%
TV shows
us.
and stuff. And I was like, we could have kept swiping and it would have been us. Like very opinionated woman and the man she yells at. Very us.
Just the tall idiot punching bag.
Yeah, who's just like, that's fun.
Yeah.
Mackenzie's next. She has the overall high score of her division. Slay from
She
last
was
week.
a triple threat.
True. And then Kalani is at the very top. She ate, literally, because she had to take a bite out of an apple on stage, and she crushed it. So.
She said, Abby says she was inspired by the poison in Kelly.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Because it's like, a poisoned apple.
That is such an insane thing to say out loud that you kind of have to respect it a little.
Yeah, I
you know, like, sure. This week we're going to Detroit for Intensity Dance, and Abby gives this like very not good history lesson in the moment about the car industry making people rich, and then the Great Depression hit, and then she is like, Detroit like she plummeted as a city.
Yeah,
which
like Detroit sucks.
I don't know how true that is, but okay. And I have here, I'm scared this is going to get weird and classist. Don't worry, it does.
Oh, yeah, almost immediately.
We have a solo this week for Maddie and a solo this week for Kendall.
I was surprised by that.
I was surprised by that, too. And Kira, Kalani's mom, is pissed for some reason, because she really wants, if there's another solo that's going to be given to someone whose name starts with a K, who's not, who's going up against Maddie, she wants it to be Kalani and not Kendall. So she's like mad pissed about this.
Yeah.
The moms like go upstairs to the Lido deck.
Well,
What?
I think you might have missed something. Kira asks why Kalani can't go against Maddie, and Abby says, "I brought her to dance with Maddie, not against Maddie." And Christy immediately says, "You made her go against Chloe literally last week."
She's like, "The fuck are you talking
and
about?"
Abby says the most insane thing ever, because now she's even willing to put herself down to justify her own shittiness and inconsistency. She's like, "Well, Christy, I learned from my mistakes. I'll never do that again." So once again, the goalpost has been moved.
Also, she does it later in the episode for the improv competition, so that doesn't make any sense.
Again, we're all about moving goalposts around here.
So true.
Stay tuned for more Abby Miller.
So true. So true. The moms go upstairs to the Lido deck, and we start the group rehearsal, and Abby in her talking head says that Detroit used to be a bustling city, but now it's kaput. Which is not true. Detroit is a major city. That has had economic failure in the past. That is true. And the crime rate in Detroit is relatively high because of both of those things together. But Detroit is not non-existent. And Detroit is not a city of ashes. Detroit is still a bustling city. There's still a lot going on there. It's very very for her to be like, yeah, and ever since 1930, they never recovered.
Well,
that's not true.
It's also a racist trope.
It's also incredibly racist.
It's like any city where there's
dancing around racism in this episode. No one ever says.
Well, this is what it looks like.
This is
that insidious shit.
Microaggression.
This is how people say the quiet part
out loud.
Yeah. This is how they kind of can get away with it. Well, I never said anything about but
did.
It's so weird how Detroit and Memphis and St. Louis and Chicago are all such shitty, overrun cities. Like, what do you mean?
What do you
mean by that?
Someone in my office brought up the fact that on the internet it lists the neighborhood where my office is as one of the sketchiest parts of Nashville. And I was like, that's crazy because we work in a warehouse district. So that's a racist accusation to say. It's off of Nolensville Road.
Of course.
And people obviously are going to think that, that's where the communities of color are. That's where the crazy shit happens.
Right.
It's these are all offices and warehouses. So what do you mean this is this quote unquote sketchy part of town? Anyway,
she refers
saying the quiet part out loud for real.
Yeah, she says Abby says all the dancers are people from Detroit and are therefore unemployed, hungry, dirty, sad.
No, that's the characters that they play later. We're going to get to that because I have a talking point about that. But she doesn't say that. She doesn't say that with the people in Detroit. She's talking when they're running the group dance.
Yes, but they're being people in Detroit.
Right now. You're right. Sorry.
She's talking about the characters that they are playing are people in Detroit
the group number is called Riches to Rags. Right. It's supposed to be about the economic downfall of Detroit. But it doesn't make any sense because the dancers are starting out as
dirty and in
unemployed, dirty, hungry, sad.
They should have done a costume change.
Right.
It would have been so easy to do.
It's just rags to rags.
Yeah.
Because there's no evolution here. They start looking bummy and they end looking bummy.
Yeah, real dumb.
It's very weird.
They go up to the Lido deck and Holly says, I wouldn't go to Detroit and have judgment about people on unemployment. First of all, obviously, there's such a stigma, the old white guy at the thing last night. There's such a stigma about people on unemployment. Brother, chill. The moms are joking that Abby wants to lose.
Yeah, it's so bad. And Holly says...
It seems like she's throwing.
Holly's I'm not buying it. I don't like this messaging. She says that she thinks their portrayal of struggle is coming off as cartoonish.
Yeah, she's like, I don't want the people of Detroit to think that we are mocking their hardships.
Holly, staying educated.
Yeah.
I love that woman so much.
Put that in your book.
So true. Maddie starts rehearsing her solo. It's called Timeless. And Abby says a bone-chilling thing where she says, there's been a lot of chaos at the ALDC, but there's one thing I can always count on, referring to Maddie.
It's Maddie. She's timeless.
Gross. And then Abby says that Maddie is a classic to her face. She's like, you're a classic.
You'll never go out of style.
I'm like, I really can't do this. It is so insidious.
This is just one of those things where, if this were a movie...
Yeah.
it would end. It would end with Abby cutting Maddie's skin off, stuffing her, and putting her into a case, like a glass
like
case
a doll,
for display,
a skin doll
that she would worship.
True. The people want to see you.
Iggy, can you lay down? Come on. She's gonna climb all over me. Look at this. Look at this. Come here.
Ooh, those sounds.
Oh God. Oh. That's
the
all
sounds
getting
are
picked
crazy.
up.
Oh, the other day I thought of you because Iggy was licking her paws. And every time that Otis licks, like an insane amount,
Otis the licking.
Otis the licking. And I looked over at Iggy. She was licking too much. I said, Iggy the licking. And she stopped. It was really funny.
Iggy the licky.
Okay. Oh, sure. Anything else?
She's going to fall right off this couch. Yeah, you.
You talking shit?
She has the craziest look in her eyes right now.
Always. That's just her face.
Yeah.
Okay, Jill asks Melissa how she's feeling about the idea that okay, let me back up. Jill and Christy are messy as fuck in this episode, poking and prodding these other women into despair while Holly collects a check at a book signing. It is nuts. And Melissa and Kira feed into it because they're insanely competitive. Jill and Christy's daughters are permanently in the not good enough spot, and Holly is unbothered and educated. It is a great picture of the dynamic of these women at all times. Maddie and Kira are going to go up against each other. Jill asks Melissa about the idea of Maddie and Kalani going up against each other. And Melissa gives it like a classic non-answer.
Well, she very clearly, she was like, I wouldn't have a problem with that. No, I wouldn't have a problem at all.
Which is like, the way that she says things, it's a little suspect, but whatever.
She always seems like she's lying.
Oh, no, I don't,
that's the
not
thing.
Bother me.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Kira says that she really wants to prove that her child is the best. I would really like to know why Kira cares so much about that.
Because it's a fucking plot point.
I know, but it is gross. It is. You gotta come on. You gotta go with me here, Farmer.
Well,
what's going on?
She's on the team. Like she was brought. I'm sure Abby hyped her up a lot. Sure. She and Kalani when they did like the open call or whatever. And Abby probably said some shit like, "Who knows? Maybe she'll have the chance to compete for the top spot and be like, a TV star and blah blah blah."
Whatever.
And so now, Kira's like, "All right,
Bet.
put up."
Yeah, put up or shut up.
We can do this.
Chrissy says it's not fair that Kalani got to go up against Chloe. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting all these people confused. Christy is pissed that Kalani got to beat down on Chloe. But for whatever reason, Kalani's not allowed to try to beat down on Maddie.
Right.
That Maddie's like being protected and like
Correct.
set apart. And she says it's an inequity. Slay. It's also an inequality. But yes, also yes. We cut to a commercial, and when we come back, we're at Dr. Holly's book signing, and the gang's all here. The girlies are here, her man is here, and then Abby walks in, and she ruins the mood. And
Did you watch this on Disney Plus?
No, I watched this on Lifetime because someone in the YouTube comments likes to talk shit about no one on this podcast watching on Lifetime, so I have to do it so that people in the comments will shut the hell up.
So I watched this on Hulu, and this wasn't in there.
You didn't get the book signing?
No.
Bitch! Okay, so picture this.
Lots of books. No. Holly's signing them.
No. 1/3 of a hotel ballroom. It's giving Gaylord Opryland.
Okay.
Like, crusty. Holly's there. All the moms are there, except Kelly, which we're going to talk about later. Abby shows up, sucks all the air out of the room, obviously.
Sure.
And then she picks up Holly's book and calls it a pamphlet.
What?
Because it is little. And it's just like a little like inspirational thing that you like give to your friends. And it's like a thing that my mom would give out at Bunko probably. But Abby calls it a pamphlet and then says, no, it will be a really good thing to put in the waiting room of like your OBGYN's office. Abby, Hey, what was that about?
She was barking at Abby.
Period.
Look at both of her ears.
She looks crazy.
Iggy. You remember that very old video of the hamster that was like, ba, ba, ba?
Yes, I do.
That's what she just did.
That's Iggy, for real. Yeah, and it's like not that long of a scene and whatever. Okay, we're back at the studio. It's 2 days out from the competition. what's happening with my phone? Okay, there we go. We're watching the group rehearse, and Melissa, like all the moms are upstairs, and Melissa says that last night when they were going home from rehearsal, that Maddie and Mackenzie said that the dance was so funny. And the moms are like, no, what do you mean? It's not supposed to be funny. And Holly's like, it's a really complex story, and it's a lot to convey in 2 minutes.
But the dance itself is very upbeat, which is very, it's like mixed, and so that's why the
music
kids
is very upbeat.
Yeah, and so the kids were just like some of the things that we have to do seem silly and funny.
Yeah,
playing into the point that Holly brought up earlier, like we don't want this to seem like we're mocking their hardship. This shouldn't be fun and funny.
Yeah, I don't get this choice. Like, they have done what Abby, I mean, for God's sake, like, they did a number about Rosa Parks and they won. You know what I mean? Like, they have tried to tackle very complex things in the past, and it has been, allegedly successful.
Yeah, allegedly.
But they could, I don't know why all of a sudden they picked this competition and this number to do something that's this goofy. You know what I mean? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
Whatever.
Abby tells the girls that she will be out for like a couple days, but she's like, the moms are not changing a goddamn thing. They're not changing costumes, they're not changing choreography, they're not changing music, nothing. And she points right in Kalani's face and she says, you are not getting a solo, kiddo. Yeah. And then leaves.
Cool.
So like,
Kalani is like, I know.
Yeah, she's like, I didn't ask for one.
That was the whole, like, her face was literally just like,
rude.
I know that.
Yeah, rude as fuck, actually. We see then Kendall's, that pop of your knee is crazy.
Did you hear that?
That's nuts. I think everyone heard that.
I'm going to need a lint roller, by the way. Iggy just shed like crazy.
You say he doesn't love you. That's so rude. We see Kendall's solo rehearsal, and Abby in her talking head says that Jill always wants Kendall to be Maddie. Well, now's her chance because they have solos. Talk about inequity. Bitch. What do you mean?
And the funny thing is, like... Sorry, I keep yawning. Funny thing is, like, is there a chance to be Maddie? Like, you're not even there to coach her to be Maddie.
Girl, you're not even clocked in. Like,
dude,
come on.
It's so wild.
Abby is telling Kendall something that, like, physically doesn't make sense. Like, she's like, stand here, wait on this leg. And she's holding, like, ballet point shoes. And she's trying to get her to, like, whip them around and, like, do this cool thing. But the moms upstairs are like, how is she supposed to do that if her weight's distributed this way? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, she was leaning. They were on her neck. They were hanging, and both shoes are on.
And they're
one
point
side.
shoes. They're heavy. Them bitches have stops in the ends. Like, they're heavy.
Yeah, and so like they're on one side of her body, and she like leans one way, and was getting yelled at for the shoes like falling a little bit. Like,
and the moms are like, "What is she talking about?
That's how gravity works.
How is this not possible?" But then Gianna, who's in there, says none of those steps you just did are right, and she said it's like it's a battle. And then Kendall starts to get a little flustered. She starts to cry, and she asks if she can go to the bathroom. And Abby snaps at her, and she's like, no, you can't go in the bathroom. You're just going to sit in there and cry. And then Jill's like, fuck this. And then she goes downstairs, and she walks in, and she starts yelling at Abby and getting on Abby's case. And Kendall is, like, leaning into her mom's hug, and she says, like, it's too much, and she's yelling at me.
Yeah, Abby at one point says, you're becoming the new Paige. Like, oh, great. Yeah. Finding ways to dunk on multiple children at the same time.
Yeah, and Jill says that this is bullshit. She's like, I can't do this anymore. And Jill in her talking, it says that Abby thinks, like, Jill is thinking that Abby thinks that Maddie and Kendall are getting too close score-wise, and Abby needs to, like, break them up. That's fully a delusion, but...
Yeah, that's you're doing a lot of work there for your kid, Jill, and that's appreciated, but you're wrong.
But you're wrong. And then Abby says that she's done with Kendall, and then Kendall walks out and says, I'm not doing this solo. And Jill's like, do not talk back. Like, don't start doing this.
You know what's wild? Nothing else came of that.
I know. No spoiler alert, she does the solo. So, like...
Well, Abby didn't even bring that up again.
Right. Abby didn't, like, rip it from her. Abby didn't be like, oh, if you're going to be an ungrateful asshole, you're never going to have a solo ever again starting tomorrow. Like, yeah. Very weird for that comment to just go, like, fly under the radar like that.
I almost want... God damn it.
Damn,
sorry.
Wake up, girl.
I'm very awake.
Diva, get up.
Just I went to the gym and then didn't eat after, and every single time I go to the gym... Not right now.
Okay, I have snacks in the pantry if you need a snack to suffer through. Don't.
I don't need a snack. I am
go ahead
the
and
snack.
say it. Okay, great. Awesome.
I'm a snack like a handful of dried apricots.
You're a snack like a handful of flour. Like, that's what it is. Where it's like, yeah, no, actually. No. That's the equivalency in my brain.
So I think part of the reason that Abby didn't do anything is because like she heard Jill say like, "Do not talk back," and was like, "Cool, she'll take care of that."
Yeah, whatever. Also, the producers probably were like, "You can't rip this from her. We need this for the plot."
Also, she was about to start working with Maddie, and now her focus is on Maddie.
Right. So she calls Maddie in. Maddie comes in, and Abby says that Jill is delusional. She's like, Kendall cannot keep up.
Yeah, she says she's delusional. If Jill keeps bailing Kendall out of dances, soon she'll be bailing her out of jail.
Period.
What?
I don't know what that means, but slay. Work, I guess. Slay and also work.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Abby rubs it in Jill's face in the hallway that Maddie learned a new ending to her solo in 29 minutes. She's like,
we changed
29
everything.
minutes. We
Amazing.
fixed it. Everything's great.
How about that?
And Kendall's in the den with Jill, and she, I'm not going to lie, is being kind of a whiny little baby. But I don't blame her for being a whiny baby. But she is being a whiny baby. Of like, why doesn't Maddie get yelled at, blah, blah, blah. But Jill's also not helping her.
When has Jill ever helped anything?
Exactly. Jill's not helping her. She's not helping herself. She's not helping anybody. We cut to a commercial, and then we come back. And the kids are in the studio looking at costumes and like shit-talking Abby.
I think you mean costumes.
Costumes. It is a gigantic nothing burger. Where Kalani's like, I think I might be going home next week since I'm not getting a solo.
Well, right before that.
It's very weird.
Well, right before that, like, Kalani kind of like playfully impersonates Abby.
Yeah, point your toes.
And then Kendall says, like, hey, Kalani, I like having you here. You inspire me to dance better. And it was like this sweet
she's
little...
reading off a script.
I mean, yeah, but it's supposed to be this sweet little moment. And then Kalani is like, well, I'll probably be gone next week because I don't have a solo. So what are you going to do? And then that was the end. That's
it. It's very weird.
Yeah.
The moms are upstairs. Holly comes in and they're like, oh my God, like you did so good at your book signing, you know. And Melissa, I don't know if you saw this, you probably didn't, because this is a thing that not very many people probably noticed because it's weird to notice, but Melissa is putting on a criminal amount of lotion. She is sitting there with that bottle just like
slathering away.
And then she sits there like for minutes like this. And I'm like,
that's
Melissa,
hilarious.
Girl, that is too much of that lotion, girl. You don't really need all of that. And then Christy puts some on later. But you
could have just like wiped your hands.
Honestly, Christy could have been plotting something evil because you just see her go like this. So I'm assuming it's lotion, but she could have been like scheming.
And in her mind, she says,
yeah, basically. So the moms are commenting on like the book signing and how much they miss Kelly yesterday specifically. And Holly's like, yeah, I texted her, but like it didn't really turn into anything, like whatever. Gianna calls Melissa down to record Maddie's solo. And Melissa says the most ironic thing she's probably ever said, where she says, Maddie has to beat Kendall to stay Abby's favorite. And that's a lot of pressure on an 11-year-old.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You want to talk about putting pressure on an 11-year-old?
Actually, yeah. Melissa, girl, you're so close to understanding the point.
Yeah.
You're almost there, Diva. You've almost just said the thing.
She's not almost there. She has blinders on and is walking very confidently right past the point.
Yeah. It's so upsetting to hear her recognize that it's too much pressure and then to do it anyway. The other moms kind of like read Melissa's outfit, which I think is very funny. They're like, Jill's like, I don't like those pants on her. And then it cuts to Melissa.
She likes the pants kind of off of her. Pants.
And then Christy goes, I don't like them either. Christy and Jill just like casually reading the besties. Amazing.
That's hilarious.
Christy kind of, again, being messy, pokes the bear and asks why Jill wasn't asked to go and film Kendall solo.
Yeah. It's like, that's so weird.
How you don't get to go. That? Yeah. Like Christy, mess. So then it's Kendall's turn, and Gianna's like, I want to finish Kendall's solo with no commotion. Like, we just need to wrap this shit up and be done. But also, Gianna, you were talking shit on Kendall. So you also invoked Jill. You provoked her to come down. So that's also kind of your fault.
At one point, Jill notes that Kendall's kind of embarrassed when she messes up because she knows like the moms are up there watching. Christy's like, yeah, but like she also should know that like we're rooting for her.
Right. We are supporting her.
And then again, Kendall messes up and Gia's like, boy, you're lucky Abby's not here, or whatever shitty fucking thing she said.
Right before that, she does say, okay, you know that was wrong.
Yeah, like... Yeah.
Which did make me giggle. I've definitely said that to students before.
Yeah.
Like, you know that was wrong.
That's fine.
Yeah, but then she was like, imagine if Abby was here.
I was like, what? Up.
Girl, yeah.
Invoking the specter of their demonic
I know.
dance teacher.
She's going to just, like, apparate into the room and start screaming at people.
Yeah, start melting through the wall.
And then melting children. We cut to commercial and then come back. We're at the competition, and there are screaming fans. That it always makes me laugh.
It's so puzzling to me.
Wild. The 2010s were a lawless time.
Truly.
For American pop culture. Abby sees this mom that brought her daughter to one of the open calls. Her name's Jeanette. And she's like, oh, I keep seeing all these moms from all these open calls, like whatever. She will come back. The girls are in the green room getting ready. Yeah, getting ready. And Abby's like giving Kendall and Maddie a pep talk by talking about how there are other girls who could beat them.
Great.
So not really a pep talk, but it is to Abby.
Jill in her talking head says, it's hard to know how your kid's going to manage getting screamed at and then going and performing.
Thank you for editing that. Jill does drop the weight class, and that's kind of annoying. But then she says, like, I don't really know how my daughters are going to handle, or my daughter and also Maddie would handle being screamed at. So we'll see how that goes. And then they move into the auditorium. Jeanette is with the moms, rolling with the squad.
Yeah.
Kendall goes first, and she slays. Abby, during it, says that it was sloppy, like as she's dancing. Then she whips out her phone and stops paying attention.
Cool.
Great. Maddie's next. She also slays, but she slays a little bit harder. I have in my notes, damn, this kid is amazing at dancing.
I skipped the dances.
I know you skipped the dances. It is
They're like a minute and a half long.
I know.
The choreographer's cut,
the
crazy.
difference is crazy between Maddie and Kendall. Melissa's crying, obviously. And Kira is super jealous, and she's like, Kalani could beat the fuck out of Maddie.
You're paraphrasing a little, but...
A little, but like, we all knew that's what she meant. Okay, we are like leaving the auditorium, going back into the green room, and Kira and Kalani are in the hallway talking. Jill is like eavesdropping through the door. Mess, Jill, mess.
I mean, I would too, to be honest with you. I liked this part.
I kind of did too. It felt very organic.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, Kira in her talking head right before the conversation says, Kalani can hang with Maddie, and then it shows the two of them talking, and Kira asks Kalani why she why do you think we traveled 3,000 miles to be here? And Kalani very quickly says to be on the team and to learn. Excellent answer.
She's raising a fighter.
Hell yeah.
Love.
Well, that's also correct.
Also, she's right. No, yeah, it's
that
good.
That is correct. It's not to
good.
beat other children. No. It's to be on this team and to learn.
Yeah.
Because this is a great place to do that. Christy in her talking head, I kind of like leading into the next thing, says, in her talking head says, Kira gets away with a lot, but as soon as you mess with Maddie's reputation, does the throat cut thing.
Also true.
Yeah.
Abby's walking down the hallway, and she's like, the hell is this? She sees Kira and Kalani in the hallway.
Yeah.
And Kalani says, my mom wants me to do a solo, but I'm not going to because you told me not to.
Fuck yeah, Kalani.
Period, Kalani. Good for you,
also
girl.
love that she throws her mom under the bus.
She's like, fuck you, Mom. I'm not getting in trouble.
I'm not getting in trouble. No,
I'm not going to do this because
like,
I remember you told me not to.
Yes, I know what you want to do. No. Miss Abby is much scarier, and I want to be on this team.
She told me not to, and I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. And Kira's like, the fuck's going on here?
You're kidding. And then cut to Jill, who hears this, and she's like...
Yeah.
And she's me, like, just listening at the door and, like, being nosy. And then Abby's in the hallway, and Kira's like, what does she need to do to be a permanent member of the team? And Abby's like, what are you talking about? I love her. She's great. Stop trying to do like this because you're not doing her any favors. Like, just stop. Everyone in the green room can hear. Chloe is at one point curling her hair, and she goes, her eyes get really big, and, like, the other mom's, like, looking around, like, what are we supposed to do if they're talking shit in the hallway, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And it's really funny, and they cut to commercial.
Well, Abby, right before that, says, you just need to keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. There's nothing to, like, figure out. I don't want another Christy or Kelly on my team.
Fair. Fair. They are a lot, but also rude because they're awesome.
Yeah.
If you don't want another Christy and Kelly, don't be the teacher that created them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They were only that way because they were pushed to be that way by you, Abby. The group dance is getting ready to go on, and it's this, like, again, I have in my notes, if it's riches to rags, why are they starting out looking like this?
I wondered that as well.
That doesn't make any sense.
And before the dance, Christy in her talking head says, we're on a win streak lately. I don't want that to go to hell because of some hobo dance, which, before you make the face, I looked up because I was like, that hits my ears weirdly. I need to Google this. And so I did. Apparently, hobo is not actually a derogatory term in most places that I looked. It has kind of an uncertain... I'm taking you on a history lesson for a second. There's kind of an uncertain origin, but it started appearing in like the 1880s. It could have been from a number of things. It could have been short for homeward bound or homeless boy.
I've heard homeless body.
It refers to someone, generally speaking, who is unhoused but willing to work. So it's just like someone who's just kind of like down on their luck, often someone who travels around for the purpose of finding work, which also connects the word hobo to a common greeting on railroads of like ho used to be like hello, and then bo, B-A-U-X, like a dude. Which was a friend. Yeah, hobo. And that used to be how you would like greet people, especially on railroads, as hobos would often hop trains to different cities. Right. So this would have been like an appropriate thing to turn into a nickname. So like the several different origins of it don't have like a derogatory term. In fact, it used to be a little bit uplifting that someone who was just like down on their luck and trying to find work. Sure. Like they were willing and able to work.
Wow.
So there you go.
King of the lives.
We generally speaking, do not call people hobos now.
True.
Because, well, first of all, hopping trains I feel like is way more difficult because there aren't as many of them.
True.
But at least historically, it was not a derogatory term.
Slay.
So there you go.
I know you don't watch the dances, but the song for this dance is like Diet Material Girl by Madonna.
Oh, I like that song.
But the vibe is weird. Like you're dancing to it like it's Jar of Hearts, and it is very dramatic and very that, and then it's Material Girl in the background. I get what the moms were saying, that like hearing the music, it fully is very weird. And there are lyrics in there that are very materialistic of like naming like brands that you want things from.
Not a sponsor, but could be.
Not a sponsor, but could be. But like naming like super high quality brands. But like people who suffer from the Great Depression were not looking for designer bags. They were looking for their next meal. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't really...
The old white guy at the bourbon tasting doesn't, but...
It was Abby Lee Miller doesn't. It was very weird. After the group... it was fine, I guess. It looks like all their other group dances. Jeanette and her daughter walk into the green room.
Ava is her daughter's
name. Christy squints.
Oh, she had the narrowest slits of eyes.
She sees them and she's just like,
she knows something's up.
It's incredible.
Obviously.
Her clumpy mascara just like locking in on the target. Incredible. I love her. And it's very weird. I'm sure there was like a prompt by a producer to get Jeanette to say this, but she's like, yeah, my daughter could beat your daughter's ass, actually.
Yeah, she says...
It's very weird.
Girls, I thought you did a great job. I don't think Ava necessarily would have beaten Maddie, but definitely Kendall.
Which I'm sure there was something that a producer was like, so how do you think your kid would stack up against the rest?
Yeah.
And they just cut that part out to get the bite. But it was very odd. And then Kira stands up for Kendall. Love.
Well, Jill first says, you're not welcome here if you're going to be rude. And then Kira jumps right in.
Kira's like, that's like slapping the kid in the face. Like, why would you do that?
Hell yeah.
And Jeanette says, well, I'm not part of the team yet. And Kira's like, what do you mean yet? And like really gets after this stranger.
So I tried to screenshot Kira's face when Jeanette said yet. More like J-yet, am I right?
No.
But I tried to screenshot it. Fun fact about Hulu.
You cannot.
You can't. I didn't know if that was
owned by Disney.
Just Hulu or if it was because it was a show about children.
It's because it's Disney.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, you can't.
But as I tried to do it, I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
You may not be able to do it on anything, but Disney, I know, did that first.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's her name? Kira does say Kalani could put your kid in a grave. That's kind of nuts because they're children.
Yeah. Also, though, I feel like Kalani can fight.
know.
I've said this before, but Kalani
absolutely.
can fight.
Absolutely.
Ava's a string bean. Kalani's
Kalani
got
can
shoulders
fight.
on her. She'll
Kalani
beat your
can
ass.
fight for sure.
She's like, I'll push your fucking daughter in the
absolutely.
ground.
She's like, I'll literally kill your daughter.
Kalani,
actually.
meanwhile, is like wrapping her hands in boxing tape.
Yeah, she's like, just say the word,
say when.
Mom. Put me
Just
in,
say when.
coach. And Christine are talking. It says, if you mess with Kira's kid, she will throw down with you. Throw
Hell
it
yeah.
down with you. I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah, you got to hand it to Kira.
It's true. And then Abby's like, okay, shut up. There's an improv competition. We will settle this on the court.
When?
Improv competition, right before awards, I'm entering all the children, and we will see how they stack up so everyone can shut the hell up about who's the best kid.
Also,
my heart started beating. I was like, let's fucking go. I'm so excited.
Yeah, she's
Step
like,
it up.
what a
the
coincidence.
streets.
We can actually settle this.
Yeah.
Which
I'm so excited.
we have we seen this before in 4 seasons
I
now?
don't think so. But it does exist.
What a coincidence.
It exists in like Winter Guard and Winter Percussion. Because
Having everyone would have known about it.
No, but yeah. I was gonna say like in between like the last number and awards, you would have like a spinoff, right? Or
There would be
have,
an
like,
exhibition
a something.
group.
No, I remember going to Winter Guard competitions where it legitimately was like, okay, whoever wants to come up here who's a student and spin, we'll see who can spin the longest.
In my defense,
and like that was it.
I have actually watched 2 or 3 Winter Guard.
Did you do Winter Drumline?
I did Winter Drumline a lot, but we would always like go drum together or hang out and get snacks. We never watched Winter Guard. Most of us did not find it interesting, frankly.
I mean, that's fair.
I mean, yeah. And so we had our own dumb
I did it
kid
2
thing
years,
to do.
and
So
it happened a lot to have a
it
spinoff.
never once happened in Drumline that I remember. Sometimes there would be like exhibition groups that are either like real shitty,
Yeah.
or they were like an opener world class group that hadn't gotten their like timing on and off the floor or
Sure,
whatever. So like
yeah.
we can't actually technically compete within the rules, but we still want to like get the practice of being in a gym and playing for a crowd.
Right, yeah.
So
No, the spinoffs at Winter Guard competitions were literally just see who can spin to the beat of the song the longest, which is a physical feat because your arms start
fun.
to cramp up.
yeah.
And
I thought you said it was a feat.
we had a girl from Centennial who won a couple times because
Nice.
she infamously, my sister's freaking out and rolling her eyes, she infamously could throw a deck. She could spin a rifle and throw it, and it would spin 10 times before she caught it.
Shut up.
Dead
What?
ass. Dead ass.
Deck
Dead
ass.
It was wild.
That-
And anytime there was a spinoff, she would win, and she won them constantly.
That's wild
It was
because
awesome.
did she march any like core?
I don't think so.
That is insane if she
I think
didn't.
so. Yeah.
Because like there are people.
She was awesome.
There are people that like
She was so fucking mean.
spin in
But she could back it up with
cores.
talent, so.
Right, so you're allowed to be.
Yeah,
We had a guy
kinda.
like that on the drum line who was on the snare line, and he was terrifying and so mean, but he was an awesome drummer, and so we were like, cool,
Gotta
yep,
let it
no,
rock.
that's fine.
Yep. Okay. If we get to the improv competition, I'm
Well-
so excited.
Well,
What?
when Abby brings this up, it like say let's settle in on the dance floor, and then the camera cuts to Kalani, and she is fucking in it. She's like
locked in.
She's like, I'm putting other children
She's
in
like,
the grave
yeah,
right now.
I'm gonna kill some
I'm
of
already
these
there.
kids. Yeah.
Just not blinking for several minutes.
Incredible. Apparently Jeanette owns a studio. Abby says apparently. Abby's like, I'm fucking sick of these moms who own studios walking in and talking shit. That's
Yeah.
so annoying. So I didn't know Jeanette owns a studio, but that makes that attitude make sense.
Classic.
Okay, all the ALDC kids are entered into the improv competition, and they get knocked out one by one. Nia out. Mackenzie
Nia
out.
and Mackenzie were out immediately.
Kendall out.
Kendall right after.
And they get to the final round.
They get
and
to the final
get
six.
And then they're like, we're going to split you up by who makes it and who doesn't. Maddie gets cut.
Yeah, Maddie, Chloe, and Kalani all make the final 6, as well as Ava, their
and
rival.
another girl. Yeah.
Well, 2 other girls. There were 6 of them. Maddie and Ava and another girl get cut, which left Chloe, Kalani, and a third girl.
Yeah.
Chloe and Kalani over Maddie.
Crazy.
Suck it, Melissa.
Crazy. And so they get to stay. And I have in my notes, I really want that one random girl who's not Chloe or Kalani to win.
I knew
LOL.
she would.
And then in all caps, I have, she did. That's hilarious.
I knew she would, too. Good for
all
her.
of this, Chloe and Kalani didn't fucking win. It was some other bitch.
But they still finished ahead of Maddie.
True. And they
That's-
still finished ahead of Ava. So it was fine. But it was just funny that it was the 3 of them.
Yep.
And this random
The
girl
other
didn't.
girl
won.
beat the famous kids.
Hilarious.
Good for her.
Good for her. We get back to the green room. Abby, I skipped a bunch. Oh, it's awards time. That's what I skipped. Jill and Christy are busting it down right before the awards. It's incredible. I love to see, like, middle-aged white moms feeling their zhuzh. You know what I mean? Like, go do your thing, diva. I love this for you.
Yeah, just give them, like, a glass and a half of wine
and
set them
Chardonnay.
loose.
Oh, and it's, like, so totally over for everyone else.
Yeah.
Kendall gets 9th.
God damn, too.
Not good.
When they started out the awards, he was like, all right, here are the top 10. I was like, oh, no.
Kendall gets 9th. And Maddie clocks in at 1st.
Of course, Abby's thrilled.
Yeah. The group number, I say in my notes, I hope they don't win because that number was ass. And then I have damn they won. And now they're 9 times undefeated. They won first place.
And Abby says, I'm on cloud 9. That's our 9th win.
Very an Eli Farmer coded joke.
I would never make that kind of joke.
Yes, you would.
All viewers and listeners out there, write in. Would I stoop that low?
Yes.
Would I scrape the bottom of the comedy barrel in order
so hard that your knuckles bleed? Yes. Or either that or they're bleeding from you dragging them around like a Neanderthal.
I am rather ape-like.
True. Okay, so after the awards, we go back to the green room. Abby pissed. Abby was so mad that everybody was winning, and she's mad that she didn't win hard enough. Like, she's mad at Jill that Kendall didn't close the gap so that she could win the whole thing.
Well, she walks in with a giant check.
Yeah.
And says Jill owes her $500 because if Kendall had scored 3 points higher, they would have won the whole competition. Hold on. There are monetary prizes at these things?
She's gotten big checks before.
What?
Yeah.
I have not
but
once noticed that.
It's only for $500.
Well, it would have been
for a studio. Something more funny.
Well, it would have been well, they have to also pay for like the venue and the judging and all that.
It was a lot more money 10 years ago than it is now.
I could use $1,000.
True. Me too. Abby, so all the girls come back. This really actually legitimately made me feel like sick to my stomach because Kalani comes in and Abby's like, Kalani, come here, and gives her a side hug. And she says, I love you. So fucking weird for a teacher to say to a student. And then Kalani like senses that some shit's gonna go down. And she puts some space between her and Abby. And Kalani has her hair pulled into like a side ponytail. And as Abby's arm like leaves her shoulders,
says, you were supposed to win.
And she pulls her hair.
She grabs her ponytail.
Slightly. I felt my stomach fall out of my asshole. That really did not make me feel good.
Yeah, that was real gross.
And Kalani's like, yeah, and you can see she like locks down, feels uncomfortable, doesn't know what to do, starts to feel strange, all that kind of shit.
Grab the wrist, break the elbow, sweep, take the legs out, punch her in the face twice, run.
Sweep the leg. Yeah, love sweep the leg. And then Chrissy's making faces while Abby's like hyping up Kalani, which is great. And Abby's like, Christy, cut the attitude. And Chrissy's like, I don't have attitude. I'm responding to you talking shit on my kid.
Yeah.
It's like, you're the only person that I'm like this around. So it's obviously a you problem and not like literally anyone else. And they go out into the hallway and Abby gets kissing distance right in front of Chrissy's face. And Chrissy just goes, and blows in Abby's face.
Blows a little air in her face.
Incredible. And she goes, get out of my face.
Yeah, just so
Christy.
Well, because Abby was able to instigate Kelly that same way, getting right up in her face, and Kelly hit her.
Yeah, true.
But she tried to do it to Christy, and Christy was like, nah, dude.
And Christy says, I'm not scared of you.
Well, she also says, I have no wine in me, so you're not going to get me to throw hands.
Oh my God. I live for Christy. I live for that bitch.
That one, she was her coolest and her calmest in this moment.
It was kind of badass.
Oh, it was so
good.
good.
I know you want me to panic around you, and I know you want me to think that you're scary, so I'll do whatever you want, and I'm not scared of you. So no.
And so, like, right then, Abby, she's yelling at Christy about having an attitude. Christy says, get out of my face. Abby, as they're walking by, says, sorry, Chloe. And then Christy mocks her and it's like, oh yeah, you're so sorry. You always care about what's best for her. And then just like walks out, drops the mic, walks out the door.
I love Christy. This is Christy at her finest.
Yep.
Next week on Dance Moms, Kathy's back. Let's fucking go. Very excited to see Kathy.
Oh, Jesus.
So crazy.
It's been Kathy. 2 months. I feel like what's so funny is when we record these, I feel like they also had time off. Like
Oh,
Kathy's been off
no.
for 2 months and she's been just getting ready. She's
like
got the Rocky music.
Christian Bale like doing push-ups as Batman, like
Yeah.
training in the darkness.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Christy or
You
Kathy.
adopted the dark.
Do you have a song?
I was born in it. That's such a good movie.
How much
Dude.
time do I have left? Oh my god, hang on, I have 30 seconds. Hang on. Okay, what's your song of the week, brother?
I want to be clear. My song is called Starry-Eyed Surprise
Okay.
by Paul Oakenfold.
Okay.
I want to be clear. This is not a good song. However, the album came out in 2002 and it popped up into my head.
Sorry, Iggy was staring like straight into the camera. Sorry.
So I was listening to like some older, I couldn't remember the song. I might make this next one my song of the week at another point. But it was like Butterfly by now I can't remember. But I thought I was thinking of that song, but in my head this song was playing, and it's a song I literally haven't heard it since like 2002 or whatever it was. So it has been a very long time, and I looked it up and I was like, oh my God, I remember hearing this song on the radio. And so I wanted to make it my song of the week because there's like one person in our listenership that is going to be like, oh my God, I remember this song. And they'll be like, you're right. It's not very good, but I remember thinking it was so like fun and great back when I was 12.
I totally understand that. I feel that way about the song Stockholm Syndrome by One Direction.
Oh, I thought you were going to say by Muse. That's a great song.
No.
Stockholm Syndrome by Muse is a
Stockholm
great
Syndrome
song.
by One Direction. It is that I have that song on a playlist that's called Songs That Are So Good It Feels Like a Joke. Like,
Speaking
are you
of
kidding?
which,
I love that song.
This is a song I was listening to at the gym. Hang on. It'll circle back around.
Wait, what am I looking at? I'm supposed to be looking at the title?
The song title.
Oh.
It'll circle back around. Is it still going?
Mm-hmm. No Hands.
Yeah.
Slay. Love
No Hands featuring Roscoe Dash by Waka Flocka Flame. Hell yeah. All right, what you got, bro?
The song that I would like to plug this week is a song called Miss Me Too by an artist named Griff, who I have just started listening to, and I love her. And the song is... It's just a good song. The end. I'm trying to have less of an emotional attachment to music, like my co-host Eli.
Look at you.
Anything.
Yeah, you really like laid into me last time where you're like, your songs are all, you don't have any reason for them. I'm like, yeah, I just like listening to them.
It's so annoying to me personally.
I just can't imagine like every song I listen to, like connecting with it on an emotional level, and it hits so hard. Sometimes I just want something on in the background and I like how it sounds, and that's cool. I don't have the emotional bandwidth to handle music like you do, I think.
I love music. It's like the best, dude. And it helps me process my feelings so I don't have to just hold all of them.
Well, I don't hold all mine either.
You don't feel anything, though.
Well, I digest my feelings very differently.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
I digest them with music.
And I do kind of the opposite. I need like nothing. I don't want to talk about it necessarily. Right. I don't want to listen to music and hope that I connect with something. Like I want to sit like in a 30-minute car ride in silence and just like really think through.
Do you know what the origin of the word cathartic is? Do you know about this?
The Catholicism.
No. So a cathartic experience used to be a physical experience that ancient Greeks would go through, where they would cut open their arms and pray and bleed their feelings out. Like that's what they believed was happening.
Yeah.
And I feel like I do that with music. It is a cathartic experience. It is an avenue so that I don't have to hold on to the feeling anymore. Someone else is holding on to it for me, and it lives not in me. Like the feeling is not overwhelming because it's released.
Full disclaimer, do not do that.
No, they're the ancient Greeks. They don't know anything about anything except math.
And democracy.
And being gay.
And the Olympics. I'm telling you, dude.
Oh my God, that was so fucking loud.
I know.
Okay, we have to go before Eli's stomach starts eating itself.
It already is. I feel it.
I personally, I work in events. I have to be active at 5 events in the month of February, so there's a good chance that February's upload schedule is going to be kind of spotty as well.
I'll do a solo podcast.
You don't want that. I'm saving you from that. Also, Eli doesn't know how to do any of this.
I'll
so
record it,
impossible.
and I will just send it to Amanda.
And I won't upload it. I'll just delete it. But... we're going to upload as much as we physically can, but if February looks a little spotty, it's because I will only be in this house 7 days in the month of February. So.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I love you so bad.
So much.
Thank you for sticking it out and for just like hoping that we'll come back because we always do. Anytime we take time off to like be human beings, we'll always come back to making content for the internet.
Indeed.
Like, come on. You can follow us on Instagram at The Pyramid Pod. New Year's resolution is to heal my relationship with Instagram only for the sake of this podcast. To just be better about it.
And also because TikTok might be getting banned.
Yeah, but I don't give a fuck about that. If TikTok gets banned, who cares? I've saved all my Hassan Piker thirst edits, so it doesn't matter. Follow Eli if you want to. Follow me if you want to.
At Eli_farmer_.
Cyberbully him lightly, not for real.
Everyone's been great since the one time. Everyone's been great.
Good. I'm at @NotAmandaB_ on Instagram. Follow me if you feel like it. If you don't, I understand. Like and subscribe on YouTube, whatever.
Good night, Alyssa.
Good night, Alyssa. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Okay, we need to get you fed, son.
Oh, I nailed that one.
Your stomach's making me nervous.
It won't stop.
It's like almost speaking full sentences.
I know. Iggy understands it, actually.
Okay, hang on. Let me zoom in.
Hello.
Peeky peeky. Peeky peeky.
Plop.